What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the local meta report here in St. Louis, Missouri. I am Brad, aka the mayor of Lorcana and co-host of the Rules of Villainy podcast. Each and every week, with the exception of last week, which I'll get to in a minute, I like to bring you the latest and greatest in Disney Lorcana competitive decks here in St. Louis throughout our local leagues that go 3-0 throughout the week and have the great players who are generous enough to share their decks, even this close to set championships, because set championships are literally next week. It's wild to think about. I'm just now starting to get competitive. But that being said, we weren't here last week because it was a big weekend for Disney, for me and Disney Lorcana in general. My birthday was on Saturday, so Friday and Saturday I did a lot of celebrating. And on Sunday was the finale to basically season one, the world championship of Disney Lorcana. And I hosted a watch party at game night with 30 plus other people here in the community, which I want to, as I did on the podcast, give a big shout out to everybody who made that happen. It was an incredible event. There's a huge post on our Facebook if you want to see all the pictures for it. Forever grateful for everybody who attended that. Even Nick, who you've seen on this list before, if you've been watching these local meta reports, asked me, he's like, did you see there was not a 3-0 on Friday? And I said, my brother in Disney, I do not have time to do a local meta report this weekend. I am sorry. But yeah, we after all of that, we watched Den Can Fam be crowned the first ever Disney Lorcana champion. DKP, we've seen him around. I'm certainly, if you're watching this video, you know who that is. He's been around the world. I think the best tweet I saw after Worlds ended was from Dick Burns at the Forbidden Mountain saying that this man bet on himself. He traveled literally the world to become this world champion, and it was so well deserved. And after it was all said and done, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, it couldn't have been anybody else. This guy got it done, and he did it his way. Congratulations to him. We can't say that enough. I actually met him in Seattle. Super cool guy, and can't wait to see what the rest of his journey brings. So one more time, congratulations, DKP, and continued success, my man. On top of that, a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the three decks that we have for you this week. We already talked about the watch party. We have an anniversary coming up. Rules of Villainy is now a year old. We have 52 episodes out there, but our actual anniversary from our publication date, very first publication date, was July 9th of 2024. This July 9th, 2 days from now, Wednesday, July 9th, from 6 to 8 p.m., we will be live streaming from Fortuna Games. We're going to have pizza. We're going to have cake. If you're in the area, please drop in, say hi, check out the store if you haven't. It's a really cool store. And one of the staples to Rules of Villainy is where Vince started playing and where a third of Rules of Villainy originated was from that store. And so thankful for Will and Hannah and Ashley to allow us to just take the store over for a couple hours and have some fun with it. So if you're in the area, check that out. If you're not, check out the channel. We're going to be live streaming, and we want to see you in the chat. We want to talk to you. We want to hear what Rules of Villainy means to you. And couldn't be more grateful to have you on board. The last thing I want to say again before we get into these three decks, we have one big event coming up this weekend in side by side with the set championships. We didn't know at the time that set championships were going to be July 12th, but the Jackson Warren Memorial Tournament is happening in Fairview Heights at Impact Gaming Center and on July 12th. Starting at 10 a.m. Doors open at 9. I think that's when registration is. And it's a big 1K. We're just going to have a competitive 1K. This is put together by Tom over there on the Illinois side and working with Impact Gaming Center. I think that's his local league and where he plays the most. And it is a big event that he's put together, having us co-stream it with Impact Gaming Center. They already have their own streaming equipment, and I think Andy is working with them to get that all set up. It's going to be streamed on their Twitch and our YouTube, and should be a lot of fun. If you haven't signed up yet, please do that. There's a championship belt that Tom had designed, and it looks really, really cool. I hope to see you all there. That being said, I know this is a longer intro than you're used to. We got three decks to look at this week, and I'm really excited to share them. So here they are. All right, and that first deck comes by the way of Linc the Sync at the Collector Store Tuesday Night League, going 3-0 with Blurple. Looks like there were 10 players total. His matchups were Ruby Amethyst against his dad, a Blurple mirror match, and an Emerald Seal discard ran by the one and only Rudros as they were battling it out for the 3-0 on the night. Linc got it done with Blurple, and I love to see it because I like to take credit for introducing him to this beautiful color combination one night at Manticore when we traded decks. He's running it now with the Peter Pan package, which is something that I take in and out of mine. It's the only way that I like the Iago there on 4 that has the vanish keyword. If you're up in a big steel meta and that Iago comes out and just sits there for a turn, chances are it gets hit by a storm or a strength or something that just immediately gets it taken away, and you just wasted a turn, right? So I do like having that Peter Pan come out on 3. Plus, it has rush, as Andy will tell you, and I agree with him. It is probably the best answer to Diablo currently, which I imagine in that final matchup with Travis, that Peter Pan comes out on 3 and takes care of whatever exerted bird that he has out there, whether it be the new challenge Diablo or the legendary Diablo that draws cards on exert. That Peter Pan can be a problem, and then play it into Iago on 4 or 3 even because of the ramp. So no, that's not true because you already played Pan. But don't mind me. I'm not used to playing Peter Pan. My play line right now has involved a 4-cost Kita for a little bit of additional ramp, but he's not running that one there, so we're not going to talk about it. It does look really, really solid, though. For Hades, I think that's a lot. It's kind of controversial amongst us here at Rules of Villainy. I said the other night that 4 was too many, but Andy was like, I think you kind of need the 4. But uh, I'm currently only running 3. The rest of the deck, the Monstro, is the answer that Blurple needed this set for wide boards. If you have enough cards in hand, you can just keep readying him up and challenging again. That'll take care of those wide boards that seem to always be a problem for us playing Blurple, and then everything else looks solid. I like 4 sales. I like 2 Finders Keepers, I think is a good number. Except when you really need it. And you're like, crap, there's only 2 in there. I better pull it. Friends on the other side is a great turn 2 with Bell singing it. And then Into the Unknown is an interesting one. It's a card I like. I'm just not running currently. Andy will tell you it's a bad card. I don't think so. I think there are specific situations that allow that card to get you out of an early trouble, like the shifted Diablo or the shifted hamster. You can have Bell or somebody sing that really quickly, or spend the ink on it to get that 2-cost 2 resist off, or that Diablo that draws cards for you for the opponent. So overall, I think it's a really stacked list. I mean, Linc proved it with his 3-0 on the night, and it was no easy feat playing against. I don't know who his second player was, but he played against his dad on RA, and he played against Travis on Emerald Steel. So he didn't have it easy, and he got it done. So congratulations to Linc. I'm looking forward to seeing how you do in the set championships. All right, moving on to Thursday night at Manticore Game Shop, going 3-0 on Ruby Amethyst. We have Lincoln's dad, Steven, here with a deck that may look familiar to you. Not a whole lot has changed from 2 weeks ago when we talked about this. The one thing that stands out right away is the 7-cost uninkable Hades that whenever you quest, or whenever you play and whenever you quest, you may put 2 damage on one of your characters to draw 2 cards for a little bit of late game card draw that you maybe or maybe not need with a rush shark coming out and can just pull friends from the discard. But it is a powerful card. 3/6, a quest for 2. It is the same type of Hades from the first chapter, the Infernal Schemer Sapphire Hades, in regards to stats and lore line. So ultimately, yeah, the same deck, the Ursula and the Vanellope there on 2 to set up for whatever you need to challenge into. Challenger Ursula. Vanellope is a 3/1 with evasive. So a couple of answers there for problematic cards, especially with the crab coming down on 3 to boost both of those up. Of course, the Peter Pan package in here as well, and a little bit of reverse from what Linc is running for Peter Pans, because the rush on evasive is important here with the shark, and then 2 Iagos. We got the Brawls, we got the Finders Keepers, and of course, everything that you see in the late game Ruby Amethyst with Pirate's Life. Be prepared to control the board, and a couple libraries even for a little extra card draw if the opportunity arises. But ultimately, very solid list. Ruby Amethyst has been very powerful for a very long time, and this is the current iteration of it that Steven is finding success with. And spoiler alert, you're going to see in the final deck of the video here in just a moment. All right, and our final deck of the week comes from Villain Andy of the Rules of Villainy podcast, the heartbeat of the show at Bodach Games, going 3-0 with Ruby Amethyst. He did tell me when he sent this over to me that it is the exact same deck as 2 weeks ago. Nothing's changed in it. He hasn't had time to change anything. We've just been busy all the time, but this deck has been getting it done. He is the pioneer here in the area for that Hades, maybe the inspiration for Steven. I don't know. We have had several conversations in our Discord quick Discord plug, Rules of Villainy. If you'd like to join, the link in the description below. We have a lot of conversations there, all pertaining to Disney Lorcana. Well, I shouldn't say all of it. There are a lot of conversations that aren't pertaining to Disney Lorcana, but it is fun nonetheless. Anyway, a little tangent there. This Hades we just talked about seems like to be the direction that Ruby Amethyst is going with just doing damage and damage manipulation. So curious to see how this deck evolves after rotation. But the only difference here between him and Steven's deck is he values the draw from Cusco over the evasive 3 strength Vanellope on turn 2. And of course, the spell book that is just, there's no answer. I mean, there are answers too, but nobody runs them. So if he can sneak out that spell book at any given time for the rest of the game, he could just turn it sideways for 1 ink and gain that 1 lore, get closer to 20. So running the same pan package, 4-2 with Iago, 4 genies for the draw, 4 half sharks, that half shark combo, man. Playing that, giving it rush with pan, and then rushing into something with it, crashing into it, bringing back any kind of action that he wants. It was just really, really good. Ruby Amethyst is still strong and going to be a problem here in set championship season. So congratulations to Andy. Can't wait to see how many more set championships you bring home, my man. And that's going to do it this week. Like I said, it was a short week. I appreciate you tuning in. We did have a holiday this past week with the 4th of July, so the collector store did not fire. They weren't even open to have a potential other deck to show you. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. We're happy to promote any of the community members here, because to Rules of Villainy, it's all about community. The community has been so good to us, and all we want to do is give back to it and help build it. So thank you for everybody who's tuned into these videos, who's provided these decks, who's been a part of any of our events in the past or planning to in the future. We are forever grateful for that. If you do like this kind of content, please hit the like, subscribe, and bell for notifications for any kind of content that we put out on this channel. We have the podcast proper. We have the meta report that I do, and we have Deck Test Tuesdays on Tuesday for now. We might have more stuff in the future. We have a live stream coming up, as aforementioned in the intro, and here in the outro, the little picture of Ruby turning a year old, Ruby the Amethyst Dragon. Again, that is Wednesday night at Fortuna Games, 6 to 8 p.m. Please come check it out, either in person or on the live stream. We're just going to be having a good time reminiscing over the past year of Disney Lorcana and what it means to us, what it means to have the support that we have from you guys, and just how much we love the game, and to be where we're at with it is such a blessing. So thank you to everybody once again who came to the watch party, who's been a part of all of this. We thank you and can't wait to celebrate with you on Wednesday. So until next time, happy questing.